Hello there, folks. Hey, this is Joe Ozu here. Hey, in this quick video, we got an interesting situation. Here we have a customer that has a Redline device talking to multiple devices over Modbus or other comms, doesn't really matter. But what they're having a problem with is when one of the tags or when the communications goes down, in this case, a compressor goes offline, they would like the Redline device to continue to show the hours, minutes, and seconds when it was down and then, of course, come back up. So in this example, let me just show you live data here. So I got a PLC running here, I got another one here, and I got a way to turn them on and off. So this screen shows these three tags here. This is the current hour, minute, and seconds on this unit. And then over here, this guy's being the master. So it's pulling those numbers here. Now, if I turn off the device like this, turn it off, then this guy goes off. Notice that all these go dashed lines. What they'd like to do is show over here what those current values were in the device so that they could see that. And then, of course, when the device comes back online, I'll turn it back on here. We should start to see this. This guy's off, but it's going to come back online. We should start to see this be pulled again. Let's see here. It takes a few seconds for the my device to pull back up, but let's see what happens here. This should go live again once this starts to reset. So let's see here. There we go. Look at here. It's filling in. And there you go. So now it's live and this guy's going to reset. You can see it working. So let's work on a way that we can do this. And we're going to use a function called IsDeviceOnline. Sorry, I had a phone call there, team. So over here in the lower left in system, down here in the lower left side, there's a function. If you expand the functions tree and then expand the comms device, there's a function called IsDeviceOnline. And this function will return a 1 if the device is polling or a 0 if it's not being polled. And what I mean by device, well, if I go over here to communications, and in this case, I'm talking to an Allen Bradley PLC, notice I get the name here of it, or you also have the number here. So I'll come back to this, but I'm going to go over here to the data tags over here, and I got a bunch of tags, and let me condense this down so you guys don't see this. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new flag. So I'm going to create a new flag tag here, boom. And I'm going to just for this one call this one IsDeviceOnline. Okay. Notice it's blue because it's not mapped to anything. We're going to actually use this function with this tag. So over here on the right side, I'm going to grab this function and drag and drop it right here, boom, like that. Okay. Now notice the 0 right here. The 0 can be either the number that's right here, or it can be the name. I prefer the name of the device because that makes it a little clearer for me to see rather than have to come and look at these numbers. So watch this. I'm going to click on this name. I get it to where I can edit it, but what I want to do really is just right click and copy that text. I just copied that text. Then I'll go back over here to this guy and I'm going to put my cursor in here in between the parentheses like this. I'm going to delete the 0 and then Control plus letter V, paste that name and press the enter key. Notice it turned blue. Okay, so now this guy is going to put a 1 or 0 for the status. Now, if I go to the Format tab, you'll see down here it says on or off. I'm going to put yes here, because if it's on, that means the device is being pulled. And I'll put no down here that it's offline. Yeah, this device online. Okay, I like that. So if I go over here to data tags, let's try this first, and then I'll show you my trick. So I'm just going to drag this out here like this, and I'm going to make it a little bigger. And I just want to show this happening so you kind of understand here. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. All right, let me save this. Let me go ahead and download that to that device. There we go. All right, let's go back to our little example. There's the PLC. There's that guy. And here's my switches. Okay, so see how it says yes right now on this screen here? Let me go turn off the PLC. Watch, 1, 2, 3. I'll turn it off right here. Boom. That goes to no. Okay. And you see the dashed lines. But what we want to do is we want to show these three, number 2, 3, and 4, which is hours, minutes, and seconds. We want to show those here. So let me turn that guy back on, and it should come back to life like it did before. Like I said, I'm restarting that unit, so it might take a few seconds. Let's see, it should come back to life. And when it does, this should go back to yes, and we should start to get live data again. Give it a second here, team. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right, now let's go ahead and solve this problem. So I'm going to go, to make this happen, I'm going to go over here to the right to programs. And I'm going to go ahead and insert a new program. There should be one by default. And I'm just going to ask the question is, or I'm going to say if, open parentheses. I'm going to drag this function or this tag out here. And I'm going to ask, does that equal 1? Okay. So if it equals 1, I'll do an enter tab across, open squiggly brackets, and then I'll enter down a few close squiggly brackets, like so. Okay. And it's going to do everything between this here section. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say hours equals, and I know that the hours is this register right here. So I'll drag this guy right here, semicolon, and then after that is minutes equals, and then over here you can either drag or double click, it'll put it in, and then the last one is seconds, and that's going to be this number 4 right here. There we go. Okay. All right, so we get rid of those. Okay, so there's my thing. Notice, team, that the diamond over here is currently yellow, and it says the word translate down here. I also want you to notice that I do not have any hours, minutes, or seconds tags over here. So I'm going to use the translate button right here to compile this code. So watch. 1, 2, 3, I'll press it, boom. It's going to bark at me because it says, hey, you don't have this declared. I'm going to say, yeah, and I want these to be integers for this. So I'll say yes, yes, and yes. Okay, now I've got that all done. Looks good. Now this program, I want this to run every second of the HMI. So I'm going to go over here to display pages on the left. If you click on the word pages above all your pages, click right here on the word pages. On the global tab, you have these things here. I want to run this program on tick. So I'm just going to go over to the right side, go to programs here, and just grab this and put it right there like that. Boom. Okay, now that should run every second. And then if I go back here to page 2, or whatever the page I should say, and I want to see this. So I'm going to go over here. Let me collapse this tree. These are the 3 that we want to retain or show. So I'm going to drag these out here like this. And I'm going to go ahead and make these be a little bigger. And I'll make the box bigger like this. And then, okay, we'll do the same for the other guys here. Copy from all formatting. There we go. All right, let's try this out. Let me save it, download it. Here we go. All right, so we're downloading. There's that guy. That guy. There's that guy. Okay, so you can see right now, there's those values. They match exactly what's happening over here. Perfect. Now, when I turn it off, watch what happens. Boom. Turn it off. This guy stops right away. You see dashed lines, but this retains the value. Now, of course, the compressor or the PLC is off right now, so it's not actually counting up or anything because it's off. But if I go ahead and turn it back on, and you can see the values are right here. Yeah, probably should put a pop-up that says device is offline or something. But anyway, if I go back and turn it back on, this should come back on. It's going to cycle power, and this guy's going to come back up. And this should come up with the, well, I think with the latest values were whenever we shut off. That's what it should do. Let's see. All right, let's come back to life. Here we go. See that this guy's, there we go. Look at there. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. So that's how you can make your hour meter be displayed when the thing's off. Now, like I said, I might add a little further here. You could say something like, I got this device online. You could put a pop-up or something here that says device not be pulled, so the values aren't shown, for instance. Well, I mean, they are shown, but let me go over here. Let's say I just take this text. I'm going to go to primitives, and I'll go into my core primitives, and I'll grab a text box just like this. And I might say, I'll make this a little bigger. I'll right click, go to properties. And I might say device is offline like this. Okay. Now I only want this to show up when the IsDeviceOnline is 0, meaning it's not being pulled. So if I go to the show tab here, go to the show tab, and this basically means when this is true, it shows up. So I want the opposite. I want when this thing equals 0. So I'm going to grab the IsDeviceOnline and put it here, but I want to not this. So in this case, I got 2 ways I can do this. One is I could put my cursor in here like this, so I can type space, double equals, and a 0, and then enter. When that equals 0, it's going to do that. Or you could also do this. Let me get rid of this. Hit enter there. Right at the beginning of this, if you put an exclamation point, go right to the beginning of this thing and put an exclamation point, That is the not, does the same exact thing. I'm going to go back to my, well, yeah, let me try. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say okay. All right, let's see what happens here. And let me make this bigger so you guys can see this. And you know what else? I'm going to be a little picky. Let me change this font to be red when this happens. That way it kind of pops a little more if you ask me. All right, let me download it. Let's see what happens to your team. Here we go. Back to my little thing here. Boom, there's that. That guy. There's that guy. Okay, we're live. You see that? Everything looks good. Once again, I'll turn off the PLC or the compressor. Boom. There it goes. Look, that's perfect. Device is offline. That's exactly that way the operator knows, yeah, there's the values, but hey, that device is offline. We go ahead and turn the compressor back on right there. This guy should be come back to life. And when it does, this is going to disappear, indicating live data. Guy could also change the colors of these to be red and green or something. But anyway, you guys get the point. Let's see here. It should come back to life, and then I'm done here. Yep, here we go. Look here. It should come back up. This should say yes. There you go. And there it is. It's live. There you go. Thanks a lot, team. Have a great day. See y'all.